Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Baller Nation. I'm your host, Yan Perron. Today, I'm actually not going to be going over the NBA at all. I'm actually going to be going over the NFL, and I'll be making my official picks for the NFL playoffs starting this coming Saturday as of recording this video right now. So, let's get into this. Starting off in the AFC wildcard game going between the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans. Of course, the New England Patriots being the 3 seed and the Tennessee Titans number 6 seed. Now, I've seen a lot of people saying that the Tennessee Titans are going to in fact win this ball game, but for me, it's the Patriots. It's at Foxborough. I know Tom Brady's been struggling as of late, but hey, we hear this every single year. Normally we hear about Tom Brady, this being his last year. Normally we hear that at the beginning of the year. This time we're hearing it at the end of the year. For me, I don't really care. I'm still trusting my guy. I'm still trusting Tom Brady to pull this one out. So I'm going to pick the New England Patriots over the Tennessee Titans in this one. Staying in the AFC, next up we got the Buffalo Bills against the Houston Texans. Buffalo being the 5 seed in the AFC and the Texans being the 4 seed. I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans here, and this is honestly a tough pick. I could see this one going either way because Buffalo, we all know what their fan base is like, and if this was being played in Buffalo, I would go with the Bills all day long. But the Houston Texans, I just trust them a lot more. They have arguably the best receiver in all of football, DeAndre Hopkins. They've got one of the best young quarterbacks in all of football in Deshaun Watson, and that defense as well has been playing good enough to get them to win here on wildcard weekend. So I'm going to go with the Houston Texans for that one. Switching over to the NFC playoffs, the 3-seeded Saints against the 6th-seeded Minnesota Vikings. This is a tough draw for the Vikings because they did have a great season, and to be faced against a team like the Saints right on wild card weekend, that's tough. And I'm gonna pick the Saints to win this. I think it's gonna be a big win for New Orleans. They just simply are the better team. They at almost every single aspect. The Vikings probably have a better run game than the New Orleans Saints, but the Saints still have Alvin Kamara. The Saints have Drew Brees, arguably the best quarterback in the NFL today. I'm saying arguably the best quarterback in that. In the playoffs, come the clutch time, I might pick Drew Brees over any other quarterback right now in the playoffs. They have Drew Brees, Michael Thomas on the outside. That's really the 1-2 combination, Brees and Thomas, that I'm going to be looking for the entire week leading up to this game. And then, of course, that defense. Again, it's good enough to get this offense through. I mean, the defense has been great at times this season, and when you're led by the likes of Jordan on the defensive line, you're bound for greatness. New Orleans Saints, for me, they have enough to win big in this game against the Minnesota Vikings. The 4th seed Philadelphia Eagles and the 5th seed Seattle Seahawks. It's too bad that there had to be a team from the NFC East in the playoffs, as it just kind of ruins it. The Philadelphia Eagles did not deserve to be in the playoffs at all, but they not only are in the playoffs, they also have a home game. And I'm a Seahawks fan. Seahawks are my team, but I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's just for the simple reason that the Seattle Seahawks are one of the least consistent teams in the NFL, and they might be the worst team in history to win 11 games. These guys are barely scraping by every single game, and honestly, the Seattle Seahawks, I just don't trust them. I simply do not trust the Seahawks. They did get Marshawn Lynch, but I'm gonna be honest, I can't see him rushing for over 50 yards, even 30 to 40 yards for me coming out of Marshawn Lynch. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I just don't know if it's gonna happen. The one bright spot the Seahawks have is Russell Wilson. That's it. And they have, at least for this season. Of course, they do have some young talent that's gonna be good for seasons coming. But right now, it's Russell Wilson and it's Bobby Wagner on defense. That's really all there is for Seattle. And for that reason, I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz, he's good enough. I think he's gonna be good enough. It's definitely not the popular opinion to pick the Philadelphia Eagles, but I'm going to go with Philadelphia. Moving on to the divisional round, going to the AFC. Starting off, the number 1 seed in the entire AFC, the Baltimore Ravens, will be playing the Houston Texans. And this really isn't, it's not a hot take at all, but I'm going to be taking the Baltimore Ravens in this game for reasons that are pretty clear to everybody. 12 Pro Bowlers, but I didn't know that. Tied for the most in NFL history from any team. Lamar Jackson being probably, he's going to be the MVP this year. They have a great run game led by Ingram. And of course, Lamar Jackson, the quarterback. Their tight ends are out of this world. They have good receivers. And on top of all that, I haven't even begun talking about the defense because they might have the best safety in all of football in Earl Thomas right now. They have one of the best secondaries in all of football. And for me, the Baltimore Ravens, they are the clear pick in this game. Patriots at Chiefs in the AFC. Here we go again for the Kansas City Chiefs. Is this the time that they finally take down Tom Brady? I know they beat the Patriots earlier this season, but that was a regular season game. This time, we've seen this happen over and over and over again. Chiefs, Patriots. The Chiefs, they have to do it. This has to be the final year where they dethrone Tom Brady. They dethrone Bill Belichick. They dethrone the New England Patriots. But I'm going to go with the New England Patriots in this game. And again, it's Tom Brady being Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady being the best player of all time, the most clutch player of all time. It's Bill Belichick being arguably the greatest coach of all time. And it's the defense. I think we're going to see the Patriots defense come back alive to what it once was at the beginning of the season. I think that Stephon Gilmore is going to have a big game. He had a poor game last week against the Miami Dolphins, but he's going to have to be big. Stephon Gilmore is the lockdown corner, the best corner in the NFL right now, without a doubt. I think that he's going to have a huge game, and I think that the Patriots defense is going to lead the Patriots past Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Patriots in this game against the Kansas City Chiefs. In Kansas City, no less. It's a loud stadium, but I just trust Tom Brady. I trust Bill Belichick too much not to pick them in this game. Switching back to the NFC now. San Francisco 49ers hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. I could see this being a close game. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a one-possession game. You know, even if it was a 10-point game, I wouldn't be very surprised because the Philadelphia Eagles, they are just this kind of playoff team. I can feel the Eagles being good in the playoffs, but the San Francisco 49ers just have too much talent. You look at on defense, they have one of the best defenses in the NFL, if not the best. They have Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. They have the best tight end in all of football. And I think George Kittle, the San Francisco 49ers tight end, I think he's going to be the biggest reason why the 49ers win this game. He's going to have to be big for San Francisco if they want to be successful in the playoffs, and I think he will be. So I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers over the Philadelphia Eagles. Staying in the NFC, and this will be the best game of the playoffs. Without a doubt, this game will be the most entertaining game of all the playoffs. The Green Bay Packers hosting the New Orleans Saints at Lambeau Field. Is going to be on prime time. It's going to be a huge game. I really want to pick Green Bay in this game. I really do. Everything kind of, it's in Green Bay's favor, especially the fact that the Saints are a bowl team. They're used to playing in a bowl down in New Orleans, and they're going to have to be going up to cold Lambeau Field in the middle of Wisconsin. It's going to be very tough for the New Orleans Saints to win this ball game. But that being said, I think Drew Brees is good enough. I really do believe that Drew Brees is good enough to win this ball game for reasons that I've already mentioned. Most importantly, the quarterback play and the play of Michael Thomas. I think he's going to have to be huge in this ball game, and I think he will be. I think he and Drew Brees will connect for some big plays. I just got a feeling about Drew Brees this year. I got a good feeling about the New Orleans Saints this year. So I'm going to pick the Saints over the Green Bay Packers, setting up a huge conference championship against the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers hosting New Orleans in San Francisco, California. San Francisco hasn't been to the NFC Championship since they got defeated by the Seattle Seahawks up at CenturyLink Field. San Francisco is going to want this a lot, but it's Drew Brees. The New Orleans Saints, if they can win at Lambeau, which I think they will be able to, I think Drew Brees is good enough to win at Lambeau. They should be able to win at Levi Stadium, a much less intimidating environment. No disrespect to any of the San Francisco 49er fans, but that Lambeau Field is just something else. And if the Saints can get through the Green Bay Packers up at Lambeau, up against Aaron Rodgers, up against all those guys, I think that they should be able to take down the great team up at Levi Stadium in San Francisco, California. I'm going to go with the Saints in this game. I think the Saints will win by 2 or 3 possessions as well. It's going to be a close game for sure for the majority of it, but I just see the Saints getting a couple big stops in the 3rd and 4th quarter, and Drew Brees capitalizing as well. Switching over to the AFC Championship game, Baltimore Ravens versus the New England Patriots. We've already seen these two guys play earlier in the year in a game that the Ravens dominated on offense, defense, and special teams. And I think it's going to happen again. I don't think it'll be a domination the way that we saw it earlier, because of course this is the playoffs. This is Tom Brady. This is Bill Belichick. This is that great Patriots defense. But on the road in Baltimore, I think the Ravens are just going to want it more than the New England Patriots. I'm going to go Baltimore in this game. I've explained the majority of the reasons why already. The offense is built in a way that teams just can't prepare for. There's no way that you can prepare for this Lamar Jackson team. Lamar Jackson is just a different animal, and I think he's going to be good enough to lead the Baltimore Ravens all the way to the Super Bowl, setting up for a big matchup against the New Orleans Saints. And I'm going to have to go with my guy Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints to go out and win the Super Bowl this year. I think this is finally the year, after we saw him do that earlier this decade, back in 2010. We saw Drew Brees doing that against the Indianapolis Colts, and I think it's going to happen again. This time, though, Drew Brees, I think he's a better quarterback than he was back then. I think he's got a better team around him. Arguably a better team around him than he had back then. He's definitely got a better receiver than he has back then. Michael Thomas will be the best player on the field, I think, in the Super Bowl, and right now, before the playoffs season start, I'm going to give Michael Thomas the Super Bowl MVP. Back-to-back wide receivers winning the Super Bowl MVP after Julian Edelman won it last year. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints to win the Super Bowl over the Baltimore Ravens, and Michael Thomas being the Super Bowl MVP. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Let me know your thoughts. Who you think is going to win the Super Bowl this season? I'm going to go with Drew Brees and the Saints. Let me know your thoughts. Peace out.